Hey everyone, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads and welcome to my Booktubeathon Wrap Up, my first ever one, my first ever Booktubeathon. I'm thrilled. So I just thought I'd start by letting you know that I read 5 books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last one, kind of a cheat, but I read 5 books. I didn't make it to 7, I knew I probably wouldn't. And I completed I completed only 2 challenges because I did my coin toss book and I read a book with green on the cover. But I'll get into the challenges and so on and so forth. Well, I'm turning my pages, my Booktube notes. So, first of all, I finished up, literally had like half an hour left on Monday morning. I finished up The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And if you've watched my July wrap up, which should be the video before this because it felt wrong to not have uploaded that, but be doing my Booktubeathon wrap up, blah 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 blah. There it is about a young girl called Monique who is chronicling the life of Evelyn Hugo for her, and she is a famous movie star actress in America, and she has led an interesting life to say the least. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars, one of my favourite books I read recently. It was so atmospheric, I was so connected to the characters, I was sucked into the world. Like I read it so quickly, and it was such a random out of the blue read, and that's the best kind, I think. So that I didn't include for any of my challenges, apart because I was meant to have finished it on Sunday night, but I hadn't. So I guess this makes my stats a little bit better. And then next I read Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, which is the second book in the Arc of a Scythe trilogy. Well, I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or a series, but I've only read the first book with Minx Laura, and she was kind enough to send me this once she was done with it, and I really appreciate it, because I probably wouldn't have got round to it for a little while otherwise, because I would have been like, oh, I'll buy it soon, and then just not do it for ages. But I'm so glad I read these fairly close together. I adored both these books. They were both 5-star reads for me. They were so interesting. To give you a brief premises? Why did I say premises? That's so bizarre. To give you a brief synopsis. Oh my god, the word just went right out of my head. To give you a brief synopsis, it is about a future world in which mortality has been achieved. Oh my god, words do not make sense. Basically, nobody dies anymore. The only ways you can die are by fire. And if a scythe, an organisation, to keep population control, kills you. It's all very organised, highly interesting. There's lots of layers and to this world that I'm really engaged in, and I think it's so interesting. This one, even more shocking than the first. Shocks coming left, right and centre. One of the best YAs I've read in a while, and I do tend to quite enjoy YA, but this was, oh my gosh. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I didn't read the whole of it I had read like 200 pages, but I blasted through the last 300 pages so quickly, and that is going for green on the cover, but even though I didn't really complete any challenges. Oh, it's going for green on the cover, and it's going for, oh my god, it's going for having read my coin toss. That's my coin toss book. Next, I read Snap by Belinda Bauer, and I gave this 4 stars. When I picked this up from the library, that's why I don't have it to show you. When I picked this up from the library, I didn't have any idea, but it is now a Man Booker Prize longlist, and it is a thriller. About a young boy called Jack. He's the protagonist, and years before this, he was out in the car with his mum and his 2 sisters, one of whom was a baby at the time, and they break down, and his mum said, oh, I'm going to call for help, and she just never comes back, and they're left on the side of the road, and then they get picked up, fine, eventually, after looking for her for a long time. Their father leaves a few years later, and Jack is, when we meet him in the present day, 14 years old, and nobody knows that they're living without parents. They don't go to school, and he's become basically a thief to fund their lifestyles, and they eat very healthy, and I just don't want to tell you too much, but it's so interesting. There's like 3 or 4 like sort of layers to this story, and that's what I thought was so good about it, because it wasn't your average crime thriller novel. There was some layers to it. I suppose it wasn't so much a thriller, it was more crimey thriller, somewhere in between. But there were so many layers to the narrative, so many characters that were really well developed, so interesting characters, really down to earth. And yeah, it's the only book I've read off the long list thus far. The others don't actually seem that interesting to me yet. I haven't delved into any of them, but yeah, I think it was really good, really worth a read. Perfect summer read. Like, because I've read this when it's stifling in the UK, and it's perfect for summer because I think it's quite hot when some of this is going down. Next, I read in one afternoon, might I add. Well, I mean, it's not hard, it's a very small book with very little text on the page. The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. Now, I have not read this series before. I read this first book, I think I read about half of it when I was about 11 years old, and I was not impressed at the time. As Lemony Snicket warns you, Lemony Snicket, the narrator, warns you that this is not a nice book, there is no happy ending, and at the time I read about half of it, bawled my eyes out and put it down. And never picked up since. I watched the film, not the TV series, and yeah, this was meant to be my then watch the TV, then watch the film, but I didn't watch the film, and I was meant to watch the first episode of the TV series, and I didn't, so I kind of failed that challenge, but the attempt was there, and I'll probably wait until I finish the rest of the series before actually starting it. I wasn't going to watch the whole of it, just for the challenge, I guess. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's about the three children who are orphaned and sent to live with an evil man, and basically their life is just very unfortunate. I'm sure a lot of you have read this or heard of it, but I did enjoy it, definitely. I was very familiar with the story because a lot of this part of it is in the film, so we shall see what happens. And last, but certainly not least, is The Rental Heart and Other Fairy Tales by Kirsty Logan. I read this, I actually finished it this morning, it's Monday today, you'll probably see this tomorrow, maybe the day after. So about 6 hours after Booktubeathon has officially ended, but I read most of it during Booktubeathon, so it's here, because I want to talk about it. Kirsty Logan here has written some very interesting short stories. I thought I was going to love this, but I did enjoy it and I did love it, I guess. But I didn't love all of it. Some of the short stories I found I just didn't like fully immerse me, but some of them were amazing. So it was a very mixed bag for me. Some I just didn't, I was neither here nor there. And I don't know if it's maybe because the last couple of days have been a bit like hectic, and this week hasn't gone as well as I thought it would, like with work, and like just everything's been a surprise this week personally. So I don't know if that's personally affected it. Nothing like negative, like hugely negative or anything. It's just been a really hectic week, and I'm so hot right now. Oh my god! Ow. But yes, some of these were amazing, and I definitely think I might give it another read and another time, and I'm definitely going to keep it. Definitely going to return to some. I'll keep throwing it, like some of these short stories. So that's me. Booktubeathon, not best, but I'm terrible with the TBR. I'm like swearing left and right. I can barely pick my next book in advance. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't watched it, watch my vlog. I'll link it down below. It's sporadic updates, a lot of them in bed, but you know, what can you do? Yes, so I will see you soon. Please like, comment and subscribe if you fancy it. If you don't, just do what you fancy. Oh God, I'm so tired and hot. Right, I'll see you soon.